My name's Elaine Hodgin and I'm Sustainability Lead at National Star. I'm really excited to tell you that 9 students have been working each term to produce the National Star News Show, which is a digital news programme announcing to the other students about what's happening at college. Student Harvey was really keen on conservation and biodiversity and interviewed me as part of the programme. He researched the questions that he wanted to ask and he worked with his speech and language therapist to programme his AAC device ready for the interview. Watch on to see the amazing job that he did.
Good morning and welcome to Star News. Thank you for being a part of our nature section. Could you tell me more about the flowers around the college and how they support pollination?
Yes, I can, Harvey. So, at National Star, we have 2 different types of flowers. So we've got wild flowers and we've also got bedding plants and perennials that are in the flower beds around campus. So in terms of the wild flowers that we've got a lot of ox-eye daisies, we've got yellow rattle, we've got marjoram, we've got scabious, we've got cowslips, and we've got devil's bit. And all of those flowers help with the butterflies and moths and insects which are used by the creatures at National Star for food.
We recycle already at college, but do you think we could do more education for students and staff?
Harvey, I think we can do a lot more to educate students and staff about recycling at National Star. At home, nationally, in the UK, we recycle 50% of all of our waste. But at National Star, we only recycle 34% of our waste. So we could be putting more plastic, cardboard, paper, cans, and glass in our recycling at college. So what we've just done is we've just put posters up behind all the recycling bins, and we're just about to replace all of the recycling and general waste bins so that people are more clear about the bins that they can use. We talk to the green reps a lot about recycling, and we've got lots of students who are really keen on recycling, and so they're going to be talking to students as well. And this week it's the big plastic count, and all the student residences are counting the plastic that they are using, and the idea of doing that is to let the government know that a lot of our packaging is plastic and some of it can't be recycled. So I think we've got a lot of engagement with students. I think students are really keen on recycling, but we need to be doing a little bit more.
How do we keep track of our recycling and carbon footprints?
So the way we keep track of our recycling is that it's all weighed. So every week, every Tuesday, our big blue recycling bins are emptied by our waste management company, and they weigh the amount of recycling that we have here at Ellenwood. And then every month I get a report for the amount of waste that we recycle. So that's how we know how much recycling we're generating at National Star.
As a business, are there any laws that we are obliged to follow relating to nature and the health of the planet?
Yes, there are a lot of bits of legislation that we have to comply with. So we have to comply with the Wildlife and Countryside Protection Act, and that provides protection to birds, nesting birds. So what that means is that our site services team can only trim hedges and trees at certain times of the year. We've also got the Conservation of Habitats and Species Regulation Act 2010, and that provides protection for the bats that live at National Star and their breeding sites and resting places. And there's also the Natural Environment and Rural Communities Act 2006. So that's just 3 acts of Parliament that we have to make sure that we abide by. And if we didn't do that, then we would get fined and prosecuted.
Is there anything else that we do around the college to support nature, animals and insects?
I think we do a lot to protect animals and insects at National Star. We're part of a new pilot project called Nature Friendly Grounds, and this is a 2-year pilot project, and it's designed to encourage universities and colleges like us to look after the biodiversity on their campuses. And at the moment, out of the 16 educational institutions, we're number 1 in the leaderboard because we've done more than all the other institutions to protect nature. The other thing that we do is the annual hedgehog survey. So we survey the hedgehogs on the campus every year, and we check to make sure that those hedgehog populations are still thriving. And last year it was really good. We found hedgehogs in 12 of our hedgehog tunnels around campus. We've also planted wildflowers with the National Trust, so we've now got more wildflowers in our meadows. And we planted 10,000 saplings last year. So the saplings are helping to create hedgehog highways across the campus. And they won't just be used by hedgehogs, but they'll be used by insects and birds. So the saplings that we've planted will really help the biodiversity on campus.
Thanks you for being both open and informative. It's been a great pleasure to interview you today, Elaine.
Thank you, Harvey. I'm really pleased to see how interested you are in nature and biodiversity at National Star.